then for the reverse grid. So line up on pole ADG 123 with Ginger Crackhead and the other TT lining up alongside him. Another TT driven by Mutt 36 takes up P3 with Rick in the first of the non-TTs in the F-Type GTR on the second row of the grid alongside him. One Shot Phil, another TT, P5, joined by another TT of Street Boy, who's got a very imaginative livery on his car today. JRC Racing, yet another TT in the monster car, starting P7 today with Potter McPot in the Porsche, P8 for Potter, so he'll be hoping for a good getaway. Then myself, P9 in the NSX with Fat Pickles Bro alongside me, and guess what? A TT. Behind Fat Pickles Bro P11 is Robuster Hood in another TT with GT Deli B in, guess what? A TT behind him as well, White Shark Jim. A great race last time out with him, he's in a TT, and then MG Jason, the winner out last time round, in a Porsche. Hello and welcome back to the Fusion League. This is race number 2. This race followed on immediately from the last race we covered over Autopolis, so this is a reverse grid one. The grid walk we've just done there is the race results from last time out Autopolis flipped on the head, so it always produces some interesting opening laps. At the top of the field, though, as you notice as well, it's a TT Cup. There's most of the field in the Audi TT. Leading the way is ADG, so he'll get us on down to the first corner. The TTs aren't going to start well, so there's a couple of us in other cars. There's a Jag here, 2 Porsches, there's me and an NSX. We'll all get better starts than the TT, so it's all just kind of continue up down into turn 2. Let's cover it, let's just see what happens, I guess. Wish me luck. So the drive is getting underway then, waiting for the lights to go out. 3, 4, 5, and it's lights out, away we go. You see the TT's bogged down the Jaguar there of Rick 33 GTR, gets an absolute flyover start, and he's up into the lead straight away as the whole field streams down to turn 1. A little right hand kick there. Rick 33 GTR is going to be far away in the distance. There's a couple of cars backing up in the background there, and there's some contact as well. Let's go back and have a look at that. White Shark Phil's involved. Let's just rewind. So it's on board with White Shark Phil in the Castrol car. So he's following me down, and yeah, I just get a little bit of a slap there from one of the TTs. One of the cars is off behind. And yeah, it's Ginger Crackhead all the way down the back then. Meanwhile, MG Jason in the Porsche trying to get a move made on MG Jason in the Porsche trying to get a move made on White Shark Phil. White Shark Phil's following me down. I'm just behind Mutt 36. Now the TTs are really going to start coming into their own then, so these FF cars immensely fast in a straight line. As you can see, they're potting the pot in the Porsche, who got a great start and he was near the front. And he's starting to come under pressure from these TTs now. ADG makes his way past down into the second hairpin. Potter's just going to try and hang this around the outside. It's great driving by Potter McPot there to keep that going. The Audis don't have great brakes, so one advantage we had was we could all brake a little bit later. Any of us that weren't driving the TTs, we could all get on the brakes a little bit later. The death chicane then. Most of the guys in Fusion make that one cleanly the first time around. There's absolutely no dramas. What else is going on? God, it's all kicking off here. The opening few laps are just gonna be absolute chaos. And you see I'm defending to 2 TTs here. I've got MG Jason. I kind of get bundled out of the way a little bit, and now we're on a straight line. It's going to be difficult for me to have any sort of answer to these guys. The NSX just doesn't have the same amount of power. Coming down at T2 for the second time of asking, then a lot of cars involved in this. Mud goes down the inside, there's a whole cluster of cars, there's a Porsche turn around as well. Who was in the Porsche? That was MG Jason, so MG Jason's going to get a good view of all this. Right, let's go even further back. Let's go even further back and have a look at this. GT Deli B got a good view of all the cars up ahead. So there's Mutt, me, White Shark Phil, MG Jason involved in that as well. course we're at full racing speed, and yeah, I'm not going to commentate on that too much because I know it's being looked at the minute, and it'd sort of be wrong of me to sit here and cast accusations while there is an ongoing investigation. So I'll leave that one to run its course. But everyone's still vying for position, different cars with different abilities. The NSX can brake later, the Audi TT is going faster. Yeah, ultimately it works out quite nicely for Deli B, who jumps all those cars and he's out to P6. So White Shark Jim's following him behind. Got Robust Hood in P8, Mutt's down to P9 now. He was one of the cars that were involved, and he was off as well, but the TT should recover quite nicely. Street Boy down P10, Pickles P11, Crackhead P12, White Shark Phil down in P13, he really lost out there, and MG Jason, the biggest loser out of all that, in P14 in the Porsche. Meanwhile, up at the top, Rick in the Castrol F-Type leading the way, ADG and JRC. All the initials on show in this one. They're fighting out for P2. We've got Pot McPot in P4 in the Porsche. Doing a really good job in that. Then there's me in P5. I'm not getting any slipstream. I am starting to lose that little pack ahead. And the problem I've now got is I've got to defend to all this lot. So my race now is probably going to be one spent on the back foot the entire time, I think. Meanwhile, Rick's trying to undo the attentions of ADG. AD is a bit of a TT maestro, he does love that car, and he gets himself up into P1 then as we start lap number 3. JRC just behind them, Pot just behind that lot. Deli B has managed to get past me. It was quite an easy move for the TT. I'm going to have a little go back at him here, but there's not really much to answer to. I'm sort of sent wide a little bit. And White Shark Jim makes his way through as well. The next car to give me a bit of a challenge is Robust the Hood. As the NSX it's not got the speed, simple as that. It's not as quick as everyone else. It's ridiculous. Mutt in the TT, Pickles in the TT, Street Boy in the TT, Ginger Cracker in the TT, White Shark Phil in the TT, MG Jason in the Porsche. That's had an awful kick in. JRC then finds his way up in the lead. What happened here? So we'll go back to the start and just cover this, because ADG was leading the way. Rick's going to get a great slipstream though. The Jag is no slouch. With a slipstream, manages to get past the TT. It all concertinas up a little bit on the exit of turn 4. JRC involved, and JRC might be able to do the slingshot past all of them, and it's going to go 3 wide into this little kink here. JRC does manage to do that, just on the edge of track limits. So a great move by JRC then. Rick and ADG couldn't really do too much about that. They had their track position already. GT Deli B up to P5 then. Another lovely livery on that monster car. Then we've got White Shark Jim just kicking up a spit of dust as me and the number 3 HKS car just trying to defend to Robust the Hood here. You just get a sense of how OP the TTs are. You're just able to drive straight past anything that hasn't got an Audi engine in it. But the good thing about the NSX is I can brake later. So late on the brakes and run it out wide. Robust can about draw level. And does technically get ahead at this point. So a good move by Robust Hood, then survives the chicane of death as well. Not many people falling victim to that right now. The chicane of death always proves to be a good addition to the race for us guys, because we can usually have a bit of a laugh at people messing it all up. Pot then having a go at Rick for P4, P3 even. So Jag's probably got a little bit more straight line grunt. The Porsche a lot better at keeping its tyres alive, and probably a little bit more smooth on the tyres as well. A little bit further behind. I've just managed to get back past Robust the Hoods and holding it on the inside in the NSX. good little fight emerging here between me and Robus. We know each other very well. We've had fights for 3 or 4 seasons now, me and him, so now he's in an OP car though. Bit further behind, what we got kicking off? We've got Ginger Crackhead, we've got White Shark Phil, we've got Street Boy all contesting in the same car. Ginger Crackhead at the minute is just about winning that one, but White Shark Phil with a nice line through the S's gets himself up through there, and that's the Audi. Always gone wide. That's going to cost him a few temps going up the straight, and I think Ginger Crackhead might get him back here if he can hang it around the outside. White Shark Phil keeps the line. He's going to have dirty tyres as well. Puff of smoke from the brakes, just about keep it ahead of Street Boy. But Street Boy gets a better exit and up to P12. He goes. Street Boy not really bothering with a livery for the TT. I think he picked it last minute. We'll no doubt see his creative talents next time out. ADG's fell victim to the wall. I think he was running P2. Probably a bit unsighted by JRC up ahead. Yeah, just the slightest of touches, but it stops him dead in his tracks. And he collects Rick as well on the way out. And there's a couple of cars now involved in that one. So Rick's already going to be unsighted by a few, yeah. So Rick actually backs out with the chicane. ADG just unfortunately just on ghosts at the wrong time. Gran Turismo Sport a bit unpredictable with its ghosting techniques. But you can see now me and Robus still having this battle for P5. A couple of cars have now laid victim to the wall. For the time being, I've just got to let Robus carry on. So ADG down in P14 now. That's 2 races and 2 unfortunate incidents for AD. We know he's a driver with exceptional pace and ability, but just 2 unlucky races. JRC leads the way then. He's got a decent, he's building a good gap to the cars behind his JRC, a 44.5 last time out as well. So White Shark Jim, Deli B and Potter all embroiled in a little battle for P2. For the time being, White Shark Jim just about coming out on top of that. Potter hanging on in there. Then there's myself. I'm ahead of Robus to Hood now. And there is a little bit of a fight happening between me for who gets to have a go at the NSX next. That's between Fat Picklesbro and Mutt 36. Ginger Crackhead not too far behind. He's in a little bit of a fight with Street Boy though. We've got White Shark Phil trying to get on the back of this one now. White Shark Phil must have lost out somewhere because he was ahead of this, and then we've got Rick 33 GTR, we've got MG Jason in the Porsche, and ADG 123 in the TT at the back as well. A little bit of a swapperoo behind. It looks like Deli and White Shark Jim are having a bit of a fight. Deli's up to P2. Setting purple sectors is Deli. He's definitely on the pace this week. Just watch the cars come through the left chicane for another time, see if anyone clatters it this time round. No, everyone survives. And this little 4-car train then for P5. This is pretty much the view I had. In fact, it gets a hell of a lot closer than that. That doesn't show as much. It does get a hell of a lot closer than that in later rounds. And the good thing for me, I guess, is they're trying to settle the differences behind for who gets the honours of overtaking me, basically. So this one is not yet resolved. Meanwhile, a bit further behind, Street Boy's putting the pressure on Ginger Crackhead for that P9 spot. Street Boy with a lovely move up the inside. Ginger Crackhead gives him plenty of space, and that Street Boy up to P9 then. But these positions far from resolved. Rick GTR in the Jaguar had that incident at the depth chicane. Was caught unsighted. I don't really think it was any of the guy's fault. It does just really happen. And Rick now losing out to the TT and the Jag. The Jag now is just going to be on the back foot, very similar to me. The good news for us, I guess, one job that I was trying to do in P5, the only thing I can really do is try and kill these guys' tyres. If I can make them work harder, hopefully kill the tyres sooner. So I was just trying to get them to work for it. I know they were probably going to get past eventually, but if I can make the job harder for them, it will murder their tyres, really. it may be a frivolous exercise, but it's all I could really do against the might of the TTs. Robusto gives the wall a little bit of a slap there, that helps me out. Line astern through the left chicane. I don't really think I remember seeing anyone going for a move down there, which is quite good. Another nod to JRC, leading the way by quite a way as well. So he's having a great race so far. I'm about to come under a flurry of attacks from a horde of TTs. So I've got 3 of them on my tail. Don't go defensive at this point. The TT just weren't in range to make a move. If they weren't alongside, they probably weren't going to go for it. I kind of know these guys, and I know how they drive. I know these lot aren't ones for making illustrious moves down the outside from about 700 miles back, so I kind of know that I can trust them a little bit, which makes the racing a little bit better. Let's have a little bit of a grid recap then. Approaching 12 minutes through the race, so JRC Racing leading the way in the Audi TT right at the top of the monster livery car. They're doing a great job, he is. White Shark Jim, defending champion. White Shark Jim is chasing him down, so I think the lead yet is to be resolved. Then we've got Potter and Deli B. So Potter in the Porsche actually sticking it to the TT there. So the Porsche proving to be an actual good contender car in this class. Probably hasn't got the top end or the acceleration that the TCs have got, but it certainly has got the lateral grip and the apex speed, so it's keeping Potter in the fight. Then a little bit further behind you've got me defending to a bunch of TTs. That's now Fat Pickles Bro's got himself past Robus. So Fat Pickles Bro's the next one to have a pop. Robus to Hood, Mutt 36. And a little bit behind Mutt we've got Ginger Crackhead. He's now broke away from Rick 33 GTR, Street Boy and White Shark Phil. ADG's caught up with that lot as well, and MG Jason's reeling them all in. So can Fat Pickles Bro in the Quick Fit TT get anything done on me in the number 3 HKS car? Again, I'm going to make him work for it. The NSX can brake a lot later here, so I can keep my car there. You can just see how the nose in. Good racing from Pickles though, he gives me the room, there is no squeezing of any sort from any of us. And we all live to fight another day, so continuing on in P5 then. But it's only a matter of time really before these guys mount an attack that will be successful. Robust Hood then trying to have a go at Fat Pickles, but he wants to get back past, he wants to get back past me. What else have we got going on? Potters lost out to Delhi. I've been corrected on Mutt's livery, by the way. You remember I commented on it last time out and said it was My Little Mermaid or whatever it was on the side of his car. I've since been corrected. Basically, Mutt started playing Grand Theft Auto with Dennis, a few lads in the off season. It was something to do with a cartoon that was on there called Princess Robot Bubblegum. But yeah, there we go. That's why. That's what that is. So I mean, it's a good looking league, but it just threw me out because I thought it was Disney characters. So yeah, there we go. So anyway, Mutt, while we were talking about that, actually made a nice move on a Robust Hood. As you see a few pit stops taking place. I decided to be one of the ones that comes in and just get the pit stop done early. I hoping just to get the undercut. I know I've done some work on killing these guys' tyres, so I wanted to kind of just try and get a fresh tyre advantage through the end of the race, really. That's all I wanted to do. Not a fresh tyre advantage, a fresh tyre advantage in the first stint, because I know the Audis would kill it later on. So JRC Racing has pitted. He's now got to try and negotiate this traffic, because White Shark Jim will capitalise on any traffic time lost that JRC suffers with. So JRC gets past Robus. He's got Fat Pickles Bro a little bit further up, GTTCC right at the top of the field as we stand then. So this isn't the order because we've got a lot of pit stops to happen yet. A lot of cars will pit next time out. So Potter's down to P6, he's pitted. We've got AG, we've got Street Boy, we've got me. So on fresh tyres, at this section of the track, I was actually quicker than the TTs because I had better grip. And the TTs are just going to bugger off in a straight line and make my life difficult. So this wasn't great for me. My undercut plan wasn't, you know, didn't want these guys to have a scrap with it really. So I try and go up the inside. I get on the brakes a lot better than I actually give ADG a bit of a fright. So we'll just go on board because ADG was on comms and mentioned this. So basically you'll see TT's defending to each other, get on the brakes a little bit earlier, right, so back out of it, but I can just brake a lot later than they can, and yeah, give ADG a bit of a fright. So we're all going to battle for position here. So it's AD Street Boy, myself. Yeah, I'm just backing out of it, just want to be careful. Street gives the wall a bit of a nudge, but doesn't want to give me the position, so he defends to the inside. Oh, we've got a slow car. What's happened? We've got a slow car. Was that White Shark Jim? It was White Shark Jim. What happened? Oh, my days. He clatters the wall. And that's going to give him engine damage. So, the way it happens, and White Shark Jim does good, just stay on the racing line just so he's not veering around everywhere. You get engine damage. It does sort of repair itself just in the interest of keeping the racing going, but yeah, he's lost some momentum there, and I actually get past him. I think Street's going to have a go at him as well, but Street and a few others are going to peel off into the pits at this point. So I carry on. We'll have a bit of a recap of the order, I guess, when all the cars come out into the pits, but we've got Pickles fighting with JRC. Pickles hasn't pitted yet. I don't think, anyway. No, he hasn't pitted yet. Let me have a sip of tea. I know Peter Keane likes his coffee, I like my tea. Right then, so where we at? Where we at? So I'm just looking at the time to see if many of these guys have pitted, and I think that pretty much all I've pitted. There's like 152 laps and stuff in there for everyone. So we've got most people pitting now. I think anyone's brave enough to try the no stop round here. As you see me and Princess Bubblegum go to work. So Mutt in the TT just tries to get round the outside. I've got the apex, so can just cut that line off and continue on ahead. Kudos to Potham at Pot. So far we've got 30 minutes remaining. Potham at Pot holding P4 in the Porsche, and a great performance against a load of TCs. But Potter owes me a pint, because if it weren't for me holding all this lot back, he'd have a lot more to do. So yeah, Potter, I'm gonna take some credit, mate. Credit where credit's due, though. You've still got to drive the car and keep up with these lots. So well done for Potter for doing that. As long as he did so far. So Pickles pits. That's going to put Potter into a pole position, and all the P's have been expelled from my vocabulary. Yet again, I've got a horde of TTs up my chuff. I managed to get out just ahead of Pickles then. Mutt 36 tried to hang it round the outside, but just managed to fend him off at the apex. White Shark Jim, the defending champion. After that contact, we know he was fighting with JRC at the top. So Jim will want to get past us lot ASAP Rocky. That'll bring Fat Pickles Rowe and potentially Robustod back into that contest as well. Junior Quacker's not far away, and we've got Street Boy and MG Jason fighting out. MG Jason's done good to get himself back in the fight. Rick and White Shark fell. I think we have lost ADG. I think ADG did back out of the race in the end. Meanwhile, at the top of the grid then, JRC Racing. A good result for Jason so far. He's got 10 minutes to go leading the field, being chased down by Delhi. And we've got Potham at Pot in P3. White Shark Jim has managed to get himself past me. Oh, let's have a look. Saw the order change around there. So I'm currently holding P4. But look at all these TTs. Look at them all. Ban them. ban them all to hell. White Shot Jim very late on the brakes then, manages to find a gap, but it was a bit of a day late and $1 short, and they're all going to go side by side into the marina complex. And yeah, they're all just going to back out line of stern. White Shot Jim is just kind of filing behind me. And for the time being then, it's me, it's White Shot Jim, it's Mutt, it's Pickles. So I go defensive here to White Shot Jim, just try and hold the defending champ off as long as I could, but he's going to get the cut back on me, I think. And the TT in the straight line is next to unbeatable. So I keep the inside for the next turn. Let's see what happens here. But White Shot Jim is ahead by the time, so I just have to basically back out. I do go for it again, but I don't end up getting the move made. I back out of it. There's no point. At that point, it would have just been asking for trouble for me to keep the foot in there, so I didn't. So then, get past CJ 2.0 is in action. I got White Shot Jim for a few laps until he buggers off because he's quicker than me. I've got his slipstream for a little bit, so he's just going to drive off into the distance now and try and get a podium back. And then I've got to try and defend against this horrible lot. So you just see the TTs. This was their best chance, by the way, down here. Alright, down here and down into turn 2 was the best spot for them really to make moves. Because then if they could get ahead here, there's nothing I can do about it. You can't really go for an overtake down in the marina complex, it's just too dangerous. And then by the time you've come out of the marina complex, the TTs are too far ahead and the NSX doesn't have the power. So that was probably their best shout at it. MG Jason and Street Boy having a nice little scuffle here for P10. MG Jason, you remember, was one of the losers out of early contact. Rick down at the back, unfortunately he was caught on side by this, so we've lost another driver somewhere. White Shark Phil? Yeah, White Shark Phil's backed out as well. I'm not sure what's quite happened there, but we've lost him. Meanwhile, his bro, the defending champion, White Shark Jim, P4 for him, 44-1 last time out, so he is reeling Potter in. And he's got 8 minutes. What's the gap between him and Potter? It's 4 seconds. So the gap between Potter and White Shark Jim at the minute, 4 seconds. He's got 8 minutes to overcome that disadvantage. Look at this. Look at all this chaos kicking off behind. So there's me, Mutt, Robus and Fat Pickles Bro all scrapping to be the honour of the one that gets to overtake me. So Mutt 36 is going to go for it then. A little bit further behind Mutt we've got Robus. Robus actually slides one down the inside. Mutt has to back out of that. Robus with a lovely move. He's up to P6. This will be familiar sight for Robus, me and him battling it out. This was pretty much us last season as well. The TT's a lot better at the curbs than the NSX was. That section of traffic was deadly for me. I was pretty much being thrown up into the air every single time I went through there, but that's kind of the only option I had really. Let's go and give the top guys some kudos. GTTCC Racing, a solid race for Jason so far. Yeah, not much can be said other than he just did a really good job. His teammate in the other monster car as well, Delhi, just grabbing the fastest lap at this point, 44.0. There's a little bit of scuffling going on behind, but we'll go back and cover that in a second. Pot in the, it's like a retro Michelin livery. I do quite like that. We've got White Shark Jim P4. We had some position changes, I think, a minute ago up here. Let's have a look what happened. I got myself currently P5. Is that about to change? Robus gets ahead. I've got the inside, so Dude just managed to keep it. And then yeah, then it's all swapping around between them as Fat Pickles Bro gets a good drive on Robus, and Mutt tries to make a move as well but isn't able to do that. But you can kind of get a grist as to what my tactics were at this point. Is just to, the hardest fight I can give these guys, the better it is for me, because they're coming towards killing their tyres zone now. If they're fighting, it's murdering their tyres. It's not doing mine any favour, but at least the NSX hold on to them a little bit better than these do. So for the time being, I'm just able to hold the horde at bay, but it is only a matter of time, you think, before they do manage to get past for good. Fat Pickles goes down the outside again. Me and the NSX can just hold it on the apex. Because the way the NSX is, I'll just get a slightly better drive out of the corner that time round. I'm quite lucky there actually, because the TTs are normally pretty good at exits. And yeah, just managed to stay ahead for the time being. These guys still kicking each other's edge, and Ginger Crackhead's about, well, he's on the back of that now. There's no way around it. Street Boy and MG Jason still having a fight for that P10 spot, and then we've got Rick GTR at the back, unfortunately for him. Loads of swapping about going on here. This is helping me. What happened? As you can see, I've bolted a little bit because these guys did a bit of a wall slap and it slowed them all down. Similar to last race, I saw that and I just thought, I'm bolting, and just tried to go. The problem is though, against a load of TTs, it's a frivolous exercise. It's like boxing one-handed. You just can't do it. You could probably make a round or so, but sooner or later you're going to get knocked out. So unfortunately for me, these guys only had to settle the differences, and then they could get on with the job of chasing down the NSX. What's the gap between White Shot Jim and Potter? Ooh, it's gone up. Oh, it's 1.9, sorry, 1.9 seconds now between these two. So White Shark Jim is looking set to attack Potter within the next lap or so. So Jim's in the mid 44s, Potter's in the mid 45s. The TT's just that much quicker. What was I doing? I was in the 45s, creeping into the 46s when I had to defend. But was in the mid to low 45s when I didn't really have anyone to worry about. My problem is I had constant traffic, people to fight with. But a nice move there by Fat Pickles Bro to get himself up to P6. So he's now won the right to come and smash me up. So I'm sure he'll get on with that sharpish. These two going side by side to the Marina. MG Jason gets that move made back on Street Boy, then down to the second hairpin. So MG Jason then P10 for him. Let's have a look at what else is going on. So you can see the gap then between Potter and White Shark Jim now is 8.5 temps. So Potter's got 4 minutes left. 3 minutes left? Yeah, 3 minutes left. So another 2 laps to survive the onslaught from White Shark Jim. GT Deli B and JRC. So these two haven't resolved it yet. Deli's done a great job of reeling in the race leader. He has been going slightly quicker every lap. So Deli will make an assault on JRC, no doubt, for the first Fusion win. I think it would be, if either of these two were to win it, it'd be the first win in Fusion. For JRC and Deli B. Potter on his return to the league. He's fighting off White Shark Jim now. White Shark Jim, who's going to try and get that Samsung TT up into P3. Potter's going to defend it with all his might. So White Shark Jim's going to try and hold it around the outside. Can't make that move happen for now. He's going to try it around the outside. Is Potter going to have to back out of this? I think he is, you know. Potter has to back out. You can't really attack through here. So Potter just has to tuck in for the time being. Fat Pickles then is past me. When did that happen? So this was coming up the S's. Yeah, he's just quicker. There's no way around it. He's just quicker through here. And as much as I try and break late down into here to defend it, it is kind of frivolous. I can't hold him off. And despite holding off a horde of TTs for 28 minutes, the first of them manages to sneak through the net. So that's Fat Pickles. The good news for me, I guess, is I can use Fat Pickles to defend against Robust Hood. You can see just how much bouncing the NSX got through that hairpin, chicane complex. As Robust Hood's going to have a go at me here. Nothing doing for the time being. Robust then can attack down into turn 3. Meanwhile, a little bit further behind, Mutt and Ginger Crackhead settling the differences for P8. MG Jason, after getting past Street Boy, is starting to pull away a little bit. Let's keep up with the lead fight then. So we've got JRC Racing and Deli B as we enter. I think this might well be the last lap. And they might get another minute. They might get another one out of this. We'll see. It'll be close. I think they might get another lap out of it, you know, boys. We'll see. We'll see. They've got a minute to get to the finish line. I don't know. We'll see. It's too early in the morning for maths. White Shark Jim has pulled away from Podham at Pot. Pickles is pulled away from me. You can see now the TT's in some clear air. He's just able to bugger off, basically. Only a matter of time before Robust Hood manages to make it as well. It only seems to be a matter of time as we go through the S's. Now the TC's just able to drive away, really. Can't get your camera angles right, Chris, and yet Robust Hood on the outside. I'll try and brake as late as I can, but Robust gets the switch back. A lovely move by Robust Hood there. Congrats to him for that. He's a lovely overtake. He planned that one to perfection, and he's now up into P6. Nothing I can do. I didn't really have an answer to that. Let's keep an eye on the lead guys then as they come round. So we've got 2, 1. Time has elapsed. JRC Racing, he's going to come through to win his first race in Fusion. GC Deli B, P2 for Deli. A great result for him. White Shark Jim, after slapping the wall and getting engine damage, still gets P3. Managing to get past Potham at Pot. A great result in the Cayman. Fat Pickles Bro, P5 for him. He's going to slam it across the line. 1 minute, my camera went all weird then. So Fat Pickles Bro, P5. Yeah, then Robust Hood. Oh wait, me and him were still fighting. So I was still trying to get back P6. So I actually hung it round the outside here, but there's no beating a TT. You can't win against them. But it was side by side. So Fat Pickles both for P5. Then it's Robust Hood and me, very close for P6. P7 for myself, P8 for Mutt, P9 for Ginger Crackhead, P10 for MG Jason in the end, P11 for Street Boy, and then the last of the classified finishes is Rick GTR, who hung in there and just kept himself going, so credit for Rick for that. He finishes in P12 at the end, backwards. Congrats.